ABS-CBN is more of serving itself, its benefit, and all the perks that go with it. ABS-CBN has doubtful title ABS-CBN. Even the title to their property in Mother Ignacia Avenue in Quezon City, from which all its power literally and figuratively emanates, appears to be spurious. Pakita po natin yung mga titulo. Xerox copy. Sa bandang ibaba po niyan, makikita po ninyo ang titulo ng kanilang sariling titulo. Yung nasa kanan naman, yan po yung nasa pag-iingat ng Register of Deeds. Makikita po sa dalawang titulo na yan, parehong-pareho, na yan po ay Owner's Duplicate Certificate. Hindi po makita sapagkat wala sa vault ng Registry of Deeds ng Quezon City yung original title. Kasi po kung pupunta kayo doon para humingi ng electronic copy ng original title, yun po ay makikita ninyo at madidistinguish sapagkat ang original title, nakasulat sa left margin nito yung salitang original title. Pakita po nyo yung dalawa pang titulo. Yan po ang dalawang nakikita nyong titulo, yung bandang kaliwa, yan po yung pinagmulan na titulo ng ABS-CBN, yung TCT number 110731. Magtataka po kayo dyan pag sinuri ninyo, ibang lugar po ang nakalagay dyan, parang Bagong Nayon, Quezon City, at ang kanyang area ay 42 square meters, hindi po 44,000 plus square meters na nandun sa kanilang titulo. Yan naman pong nasa kanan, Mr. Chair, yun po ang kakambal na numero ng titulo ng ABS-CBN. Meron din silang titulo 125702. Sa mga tweet, dalawang titulo pong magkamuka, magkapareho. Yung isa po ay ibang lugar na naman, pero yan ay 400 square meters lang. Ang nakakapag-intriga pa po dyan, Mr. Chair, meron pong minota na nakalagay for provisional registration. Pero 53 taon nang nakararaan, hindi naman po nila makita o hindi maipakita sa atin yung kopya ng petition for registration. Ang katibayan na maaring wala pong ganun, sapagkat hindi man lang naka-annotate do sa likod ng titulo na dapat sana ay naka-annotate po yung petition for registration sa likod ng titulo. Wala po. At the very least, Mr. Chair, makikita natin doon yung title ng kaso, Petition for Registration or Petition for Provisional Registration, yung case number, at pati na po yung pangalan po ng korte. Halimbawa po, Branch 110 ng Regional Trial Court ang Quezon City. Wala po lahat yun. Kaya talaga pong kaduda-duda yung titulo mismo ng ABS-CBN diyan sa may Mother Ignacia na kung saan nandyan po ang kanilang headquarters. Ito po siguro ang dahilan, Mr. Chair, kung bakit ipinasya ni Pangulong Cory Aquino na idaan ang lahat sa arbitration. Sa kasamang palad, wala nga po silang maipakita ng record ng arbitration na ito hanggang sa ngayon. Tax evasion. It was conclusively proved that ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries engaged in complex schemes to unjustly avoid paying tax to reduce the taxes due to the government. Nakasaad po sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na dapat itong magbayad ng tama at kaukulang buwis sa pagtuos ng BIR. But ABS-CBN used its wholly owned subsidiary, Big Dipper Digital Content and Design Inc., a PESA-registered IT company, as a convenient tax shield to deprive the government of billions in revenues. Lumitaw po sa pagdinig na bilang isang PESA-registered company, ang Big Dipper ay exempted sa pagbabayad ng buwis sa unang 6 na taon nito. Pagkatapos nito ay lilipat siya sa 5% na pagbabayad ng tax on gross income, napakaliit kung ihahambing sa hindi PESA-registered company na nagbabayad ng 30% of its taxable income, maliban pa sa iba't iba pang national and local taxes. Ang mas malaking bentaha po ng Big Dipper ay walang tax na ibinabayad kung magdideclare po ng dividends na kasangkot ang ABS-CBN bilang parent company. Very much like the Amcara ploy, Big Dipper has no other clients than ABS-CBN and its subsidiaries. It has only one foreign client, ABS-CBN Global Hungary, na wala pong empleyado kahit isa. In other words, Big Dipper exists only for and because of ABS-CBN, which inflates its cost paid for digitization to Big Dipper and therefore reduces its 30% tax obligation on its income but reaps a windfall on dividends with Big Dipper, which is zero rated. Ang pera ay pumapasok lang sa isang bulsa at lumalabas din sa kabilang bulsa dahil iisang tao lang ang may suot ng pantalon na merong dalawang malalim na bulsa. By taking advantage of the Philippine Export Processing Zone, Big Dipper was able to significantly reduce its costs while inflating its income courtesy of its client relatives. It is good that the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability will conduct a parallel investigation with the Public Accounts Committee to look at possible collusion with the officials of PESA. For the past 4 years alone, Big Dipper declared revenue amounting to 10.6 billion pesos. Nakikita po nyo sa slide. The declared dividends went to the coffers of ABS-CBN tax-free. Ordinarily, this amount would have been assessed income tax of 3.7 billion pesos. That's the amount that the government should have earned, and would have eventually went to education, health, assistance to victims of calamities, and similar public services. ABS-CBN claims that BIR has cleared it of any tax liabilities. But the same agency also clarified that the tax clearance is issued not to mean that ABS-CBN has no other liabilities, or that when fraud is detected, it is already immune for further investigation. Hindi po. Kapag nakatuklas po sila ng fraud, maaari pa rin silang investigahan kahit na meron silang tax clearance. The BIR Regional Director in fact signified his intention to look into the operations of Big Dipper in the light of the revealing pieces of evidence that were elicited during the hearings. Bakit nga po ang GMA7 na hindi naman kasing laki o yaman kaya ng ABS-CBN ay nakapagbabayad ng lampas sa 1 bilyong piso kada taon? Samantalang ang ABS-CBN matapos makilatis ng mga dokumentong kanilang isinumite ay nakapagbayad lamang ng halos kalahating bilyon lamang sa loob ng 3 taon. Nasa slide po yan. 2016, 2017, and 2018. Bakit naman kailangang tipirin ang gobyerno samantalang ito ang nagkaloob ng pribilehyo ng prangkisa? Sa isa nga pong kaso na nabanggit sa pagdinig, ay 2.5 billion pesos ang dapat nilang bayaran mula sa pagtaya ng BIR. Napatunayan po na matapos ang compromise settlement, ang ABS-CBN po ay nagbayad lamang ng 152 million, katumbas po ng higit sa 3% na kanilang dapat bayaran. Maraming beses ko pong ginamit na halimbawa ang isang manliligaw sa usaping ito. Dahil sa kanyang paghahangad na makuha ang kamay o pagsang-ayon ng kanyang sinusuyo, pati nga buwan at mga tala ay kanyang susungkitin. Isang pribilehyo kasi na makamit mo ang kanyang pagsang-ayon. Ang prangkisa ay isa ring pribilehyo, Mr. Chair. Pagkatapos na kayo ay sagutin ng Estado at gawaran ng ABS-CBN ng prangkisa noong 1995, of the Filipino. Unfair labor practice. The proceedings eloquently bared it all. ABS-CBN violated the rights of its own workers. It has denied its employees security of tenure and benefits that come with regular employment. Ang turing pa naman nila sa kapamilya nila ang mga ito. Ito po ba ang pinatunayan? Ito po ang pinatunayan sa pagdinig ng mga taong naghayag ng hinanakit na naglingkod sa kanila ng tapat sa mahabang panahon. Napatunayan din natin na sadyang nililito ng ABS-CBN ang publiko nang sabihin nito na lampas sa 11,000 ang mga empleyado nito nang masusing tingnan ang mga papeles galing sa mga ahensya ng ating pamahalaan tulad ng BIR, PhilHealth, SSS, Home Development Fund at Employment Compensation Commission. Ang regular na manggagawa ng ABS-CBN ay halos ikatlong bahagi lamang. At ang karamihan ay tinrato na independent contractors, talents, project workers at contractuals kahit pang regular na empleyo ang kanilang normal na gawain. Ipinagmalaki ng ABS-CBN ang halos 14 na benepisyo na tinatanggap ng kanilang talents, project workers or contractuals. Pero ang pinakamabuti, ang pinakamahalagang benepisyo, ang pagiging regular, ay tahasan naman nilang ipinagkait sa kanila. It was established that ABS-CBN, and contrary to the endeared kapamilya treatment to its workers, showed a pattern of systemic denial from its deserving workers the benefit of regularization. Time and again, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the aggrieved workers who were deemed employees given the basic test that what they do is within the network's control as it is desirable and necessary to the business of ABS-CBN. How can ABS-CBN reconcile the fact that people serve it for 10, 15, and even 20 years and still claim that they are not performing work necessary and desirable to its business? Paano po sila mamamalagi ng ganong katagal kung hindi naman kailangan ng kanilang paglilingkod? Isn't it that their length of service alone speak much of their loyalty, their competence, and their adherence to the kapamilya sense of belonging? Ibinabato-bato na lang ba ninyo kung saan-saan ang kapakanan ng inyong mga kawani? Gaya po ng sinabi ko na, ABS-CBN should have led the example that charity begins at home. Total bilyon-bilyon naman ang kinikita ninyo taon-taon at bilyon-bilyon din naman ang natitipid sa pagbabayad ng buwis. Hindi pa ba ninyo kayang totohanin na maging kapamilya ninyo ang mga manggagawang ito alang-alang man lang sa katuwiran na nakasama ninyo sila at napakinabangan sa mahabang panahon? Ngayon, ginagamit na naman sila ng ABS-CBN sa dahilan para bigyan sila ng bagong prangkisa. Hindi lamang po sila, pati ang mga kababayan nating pinasasaya nila. Kanina lang po ay nakita natin muli ang kanilang isa-isang paghibig na kung isasara ang ABS-CBN, kawawa na sila ng tagatangkilik, tagatulong, tagapagbigay ng pag-asa, tagapagbigay kapanalig nila sa bawat yugto ng kanilang buhay. Nakita po natin lahat yun. Pero ang palagi nating sinasabi, magagawa naman po yan ng ABS-CBN sapagkat yan ang pinakamalaki na broadcasting industry sa ating bansa. Magagawa naman niya yan sapagkat yan ang tungkulin niya talaga kung bakit siya kumuha ng prangkisa. Pero mas lalo niyang magagawa, Mr. Chair, na sumunod sila sa batas habang ginagawa nila ang kanilang tungkulin. Sinabi ba nila sa kanilang mga taong binibigyan ng entertainment na dapat huwag silang singilin sapagkat ang prangkisang ibinigay natin sa kanila 25 years ago ay libre? Ang tawag nga natin ng free-to-air frequency. Ang ibig sabihin, hindi po kayo pwedeng magbenta ng black box pagkatapos pasisingil nyo sa kanila. Sisingilin nyo sa kanila. Hindi kayo pwedeng magbigay ng maraming channels para exclusive, para ilak ninyo, para maging encrypted. Sapagkat kapag bumili sila ng pangkaraniwang digital receiver o black box, hindi nila mapapanood yun. Kailangan magbayad ang tao. Ganun po ba yung pinaliwanag nila nung i-launch nila ang TV Plus? Hindi po. May panlin lang. May pandaraya. Dapat sana binigay yun ng libre. 12 channels, lalong napasaya ang mga tao. Lalong gumanda ang prestigyo at ang imahe ng ABS-CBN sapagkat walang siningil kahit isang kusing mula sa ating kababayan. Sapagat yun ang tungkulin nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Yun ang sinumpa nila sa kanilang prangkisa. Pero kabaliktaran ang nangyari. Pero ngayon, gagamitin nila ang mga taong bayan. Kabaliktaran na naman ang pinapaliwanag. Hindi ba't ABS-CBN naman ang unang dahilan kung bakit ang mga manggagawa ay naging kawawa? Dahil hanggang ngayon, ay binabato lang nila ang kaparapatan ng kanilang manggagawa. Political bias and bias reporting. ABS-CBN has been biased in favor or against candidates during ito. Kahit magtago pa ito sa likod ng press freedom at doktrina ng fair comment, alam na natin ito. Ito ay wala ng bago. Kapag gusto ka ng ABS-CBN, bibigyan ka ng exposure sa pamamagitan ng interview, balita sa news, programs, at i-feature ka sa mga entertainment shows. Kung ayaw ka, tiyak na babatikusin ka, hanapan ka ng butas, lalagyan ka ng slant o anggulo sa balita na sangkot ka, at hindi ka bibigyan ng pagkakataon para sumagot o magpaliwanag. Kanina po yung mga ilang detalya ng kanilang pagmimayari sa mga ibang industriya ibinanggit na ni Congressman Defensor. Totoo po lahat yon. Nagagamit po ang lahat ng ito na plataforma para gumawa sila ng kanilang sariling mga opisyal sa gobyerno. Tutulungan nila para maproteksyonan ang kanilang mga industriya. Ibig sabihin, hindi po in the service of the Filipino. In the service of the Filipino ang mas tamang angkop. We heard some of our colleagues who ventilated their complaints. When asked, Mr. Carlo Katigbak confirmed that their sentiments are valid, and he publicly made a commitment that everyone will be accorded the chance to air their sides in his network. The offer obviously came too late in the day. It has been established and has become public knowledge that ABS-CBN aired the anti-Duterte and paid for former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, and that exploited children in partisan politics, and despite the fact that it happened on the last day of the election period, when candidate Duterte had no more chance to react or clear his name in the same media network. Mabuti na lamang po at nag-issue ng TRO ang korte sa petisyon ni Speaker Alan Cayetano na noon ay Vice President ni Pangulong Duterte. Ayan po yung mga slides para sa inyong kapakanan. But it is not the bias reporting and the negative campaign per se that is insidious. It is the use of ABS-CBN's network to influence the outcome of political exercise, not for public good, but for its narrow political end that will inure to the advancement of ABS-CBN's corporate interests. Political partisanship is contrary to the terms of its legislative franchise and in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. Uulitin ko po ang sinabi ko na sa umpisa pa ng pagdinig natin. Hindi na dapat ma-impluensya ang mga mamamayan sa pakikialam ng ABS-CBN sa politika. If ABS-CBN wants to be in the service of the Filipino people, it should stop mixing up its economic objectives with the simple aspirations of the ordinary citizens. These two are different and poles apart. At this point, please allow me to address the ABS-CBN's contention that possible denial of its franchise application is tantamount to violation of freedom of the press and of free speech. Kung tatanggapin po natin ang misleading na argumentong ito, edi yun palang nakapakaraming aplikasyon para sa renewal ng franchise ng mga radio and television stations. Noon, ay dapat pala pinagbigyan na lang natin lahat, Mr. Chair. At hindi natin siguro sila, hindi na po siya pribilehyo. Wala na tayong discretion. Puro ministerial na lang. Pagka po dumating na sa Committee on Legislative Franchises, wala na po tayong option doon. Siguradong dapat po ibigay natin. Sasabihin nila, that is a violation of free speech. Hindi po ganun. That will be in direct violation of the mandate reposed by the Constitution to Congress as the guardian of this special privilege. Unable to repel the avalanche of evidence against the grant of a new franchise, ABS-CBN Corporation tries a new tack. Very recently, they asked for prayers, words, and actions, and pleaded for help, saying that it's no longer about business for them, but about the kind of system and country and leadership we want. Ito po yung sinabi nila, quoted po ito sa social media and other platforms. But how can ABS-CBN manage to still reverse the tide of public opinion against it when their phalanx of lawyers and accountants prove inadequate to the evidence-based interpellations on the floor that exposed their ruse and ledger domain? The last 2 days of the hearing told it all. The defenses of ABS-CBN finally crumbled in tatters, and for all the people to see. The irony is ABS-CBN's appeal to flood, I will quote this again, to flood social media pages with positive stories about ABS-CBN. Apparently the network, Mr. Chair, is the only one left to believe in the rectitude of its cause or the lack of it. Mr. Chair, maybe they are living in a parallel universe. It is like the proverbial ostrich that buried its head in the sand, but exposed its whole body for all people to see. This is the pitiful state of a broadcasting company which believed that it was invincible for so long a time, and it is above the law. It is high time that the sovereignty of the airways be restored to the people, the ones who will finally decide to whom and when to grant this special privilege called franchise. Mr. Chair, gusto ko pong pasalamatan bago ko magtapos si Enrique Hill at Lisa Soberano sa pagbati at pamanghik na ipinaabot nila sa aming mag-asawa. Naramdaman ko ang kanilang katapatan. Sana po ganun ang ABS-CBN. Sa kanilang dalawa, alam ko na mauunawaan nila na ito po ay tawag lang ng tungkulin. At hinahangad ko ang higit na tagumpay para sa kanila sa mga darating na panahon. Let me end with a popular movie clip from an on-screen and off-screen hero that had captured the hearts of millions of Filipinos to sum up the comprehensive, impartial, and open proceedings implored by the Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano, in regard to the franchise application of ABS-CBN.
Maraming salamat, Marco. At ngayon po ay napakinggan na po natin ng magkaparehas na panig. Inaanyayahan po lahat ng mga miyembro, katulad ko po, na miyembro ng legislative franchise na rebisahin na po ang mga bagay na binigyan po ng pagbubuod ni Deputy Speaker Dante Marcoleta at ni Congressman Zarate upang mas maayos po nating pag-aralan at mapag-aralan ang pagboto
in order to have a more systematic and organized consideration of the summarized points or arguments discussed by both sides, gagawa po ang committee ng isang TWG as per Section 10 of the committee's internal rules to study and draft their recommendations on the application for franchise of ABS-CBN to be presented in the meeting of the committee tomorrow.